Sweet. I'm going to just give an introduction. I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then I'll play some music. But yes, I'm Jess. I know there's some people in here I know and some people I don't, which is really cool. So thanks for being here. It is just a huge gift to me. This is something I was dreaming about doing for a while. And it's just so cool to get to come here and play some of the music I was writing in Berlin. Yeah, it's really special to me. I'm going to just reiterate a little bit of who I am and what tonight is for. So yeah, I think most of you probably are here because you know what I'm doing. I'm a missionary in Berlin. And when I moved out to Berlin 2 years ago, I was doing social work and then really felt led to do music in Berlin for a lot of reasons, and kind of fell into this crazy scene in Berlin that's full of a lot of music and creativity and a lot of people who are quite far from the church and have no desire to even come close to that in any way. And I was actually talking to the pastor. Some of you are, I think, from Genesis Project, and me and the pastor were talking through just what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And he said this thing where he was like, you basically, in a context like Berlin, have to get people to, or you're trying to answer a question that people don't even ask anymore. They're not asking this, and you're trying to help them ponder something that they don't even care about anymore. And I was like, gosh, that's such good words for like what it feels like to be in a place like Berlin. And I think God led me to music for so many reasons that I won't get into, but I think a huge thing was just knowing that people in Berlin, there's a lot of people in Berlin that will only encounter the Lord in a bar, and they will only encounter the God through His song. They will only know certain things about Him in creativity and music. And so I just felt really led to bring that there, and have really seen God open up so many beautiful doors, and so much conversation has come from that, and so much changing in my own heart, and so much of understanding who He is, and the things that we get to understand about Him through beauty and creativity and song that I don't think get to understand another way. So when I went out there, there's a huge emphasis in Berlin on your own music. So we all write our own songs, we share our own music, which is such a beautiful opportunity to share about who God is. And I get to do that. And when I came back home, I really felt like this was an opportunity to get to show you all what it's like to be in a Berlin show. So I'm going to play a set of my own music. Everything you'll hear tonight is my own. I wrote all of it. I'm not going to play a cover, I don't think. So this is all my own stuff that I started writing in Berlin. I'm going to go in a chronological order, so you kind of get to see my whole journey through my life there. And the goal, I'm going to do this just like I would do it in Berlin. So I will talk about all these songs, I'll share the story with you, and you basically will get to, hopefully experience what it's like. The way that I think God uses this very naturally and organically to show who He is. And for me, I think I've said this maybe when I've talked about this, but the heart for me was never like, here's my music, here's the gospel presentation, here's my music. The goal is really to show just the beauty of God, life with God through music, what it means when He writes a story, what it means when He's part of our story, how that looks to be creative and encountering God in a space that is not like church, and really letting Him shine in who He is and His goodness and His faithfulness through every story that He's written. Like, I truly believe every song I've written is God. I wasn't a songwriter when I started this. I just wrote my first song on a whim, and God has used that song a lot. I'll play it next, but all of this is God's. This whole thing is for the Lord. None of it's for me. None of this is me. It is all the Lord. I owe all of this to Him. Music is a very special thing to me because I owe all of it to the Lord. I would not be doing it if it was not for the Lord. So this is His story, not mine. And I'm going to start with the first song I ever released, kind of the first song I ever did in Berlin. It's called Home, and it was the first song I released, which is really cool. And God has used that for so many things in my own life. And this song I actually wrote about just leaving Berlin or leaving Colorado, moving to Berlin. And it's been so cool because I get to sing this song a lot of the time in rooms of people who also left their home. Our community is really international. It's people who moved from all over. So this song was always like just an open door for connection, other people being like, wow, this is also my story and my experience. So I'm going to start off with Home. Thank you for being here again. Okay, I'm going to sing now. Is this on? Am I good? Do I need to do anything? Okay, great. I miss my family and the drive through my hometown, coming home to the familiar when the world feels hard. I miss knowing, I miss coffee in between our car seats. praying under stars, wrapped in a blanket. I miss the night, I miss the night, I miss home, I miss home. If that's a person or a place, I don't know, I just miss home. I miss the evergreen, the pine trees, my mother's lap on hard days, my dad's smile. I miss the summer, I miss the summer, I miss my best friend, birthday driving, movies, matching t-shirts just for fun. I miss laughing, I miss home, I miss home. If that's a person or a place, I don't know, I just miss home. I miss him, the green eyes, the frown lines, gapping his smile as he said, just come back home. Sweet, thank you. Okay, as I was singing that song, about 5 things occurred to me that I forgot to say, so I'm gonna say those things really quickly. It is also my mother's birthday, so this is also a gigantic, yes, and she's the best, and we love her very, very, very much. So we're also, yeah, this is also, tell her happy birthday if you see her. Yay, happy birthday, Becky. Shout out to Becky, and she helped so much with all the amazing food. And so there's also going to be more food after this. We're going to do some German food type things. We're going to have pretzels and sausages and all the things we eat out there. So there's also food at the end if you want that. I feel like something else occurred to me. I don't think so. Okay. This next song. Okay, this next song is called Time Doesn't Heal or the Wound Chase. This is for you. And yeah, this is, I think, the second song I wrote overall in Berlin. And it came from a lot of things. And really it's about time not healing. There was a lot of things that really came up for me when I moved to Berlin. I think people always talk about, like, if you move to a different country, it kind of brings up everything horrible about you, and that's so true. It really does. It did for me. And before I left, there was just a lot of things that had happened that I think kind of left me with a deep wound of, like, rejection and insecurity. And the combination of, like, moving abroad and then doing music just brought it all up. And it was something I wrestled with for a very long time. And then I wrote this song. And it's funny, because I was talking to Chase, who's here. And we were talking about this song. And I told him this, and I was like, I've never put this together, actually. But this song is funny, because it's about how time doesn't heal. I wrestled with this, all these emotions and this stuff for, like, 3 years. And then in Berlin, when I finally had, like, the moment of surrender that was like, okay, God, this is yours. It healed, like, in a moment. Like, he really just healed it in a moment. And it changed, like, the whole way that I interacted with God and myself. And I think in Berlin, he had just, he did a huge work in just my sense of security and myself. But this is still a song that I wrote to say, yeah, time doesn't heal, but I do obviously believe someone heals. And there is a healer. And I know him. And I get to sing this song. Honestly, like, I still do sing this song, often just picturing the cross, especially the bridge, because it's still something I feel. Like, I resonate with this song in different times in different ways. And so this for me is really a song, like, I get to just close my eyes and then sing it to Jesus. So this is Time Doesn't Heal. It's also on Spotify, so. was cut. It took blue eyes and brown hair to seal the deal, and I'm still wondering 3 years later how to feel. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal. The blood was spilled. I was asking for comfort I'll never feel, and I'm still wrestling with my own heart, how to feel. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal. I'm still looking for safety, erase all of the ache in my heart was set on breaking. I'm still looking for safety, erase all of the ache in my heart was set on breaking. I'm still looking for safety, erase all of the ache in my heart was set on breaking. If I could remove my heart from my own chest, I would. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal. Okay. The next song I'm going to sing... Hello? Oh, I'm silly. Okay, the next song I'm going to sing is a song called Daisy. I think I've talked a little bit about how I went out to Berlin to work with women who had been in prostitution or trafficked. And I do that twice a week. And I'm in the cafe with the women where I see them face to face and I get to know them and talk to them. It's great. And right off the bat, right when I started, there was this one woman who just really got under my skin. Like, it really impacted me very deeply. Seeing her just kind of haunted me in a way. And I still love her. I see her all the time. Love her very much. I've gotten to know her, and she's amazing. But I wrote this song really early on. It's called Daisy. It's for her. And it's kind of just a letter to her, I suppose you could say. Bree, can I have more of the guitar? Can you turn up a little bit for me? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Daisy, if I could make your whole world easy, quiet the noises of the voices in your head, take away the pain that you cannot express, put it away. Why is the world so tiring? And I know it's all so hard. It's a song you'll never hear, but I'll keep singing. If I could show you how I care, Daisy, I would. Daisy, I know that you're so tired, and it's deeper than I could ever know, and colder than the concrete of the floor you're sleeping on. Oh, Daisy, why is the world so confusing? And I know it's all gone wrong. It's a song you'll never hear, but I'll keep singing. If I could make it all stop hurting, Daisy, I would. Oh, Daisy, my dear, it's anything for you. Daisy, if I could stop those tears from falling, quiet the noises of the voices in your mind, get far away from here and leave it all behind. Just get away, oh Daisy. Okay, I'm gonna switch out guitars real quick. The next, yeah. The next section. So these are songs I've started playing actually more. Those are kind of older. The next kind of section we're gonna walk into is songs I've written much more recently, and it's really interesting. And this is kind of how I talk about them in Berlin. It's really, really interesting because before I started doing music, I journaled all the time. I was like a big prayer journaler. Anytime I prayed, it was journaling. And when I started doing music, I stopped. 1 minute, please. I've received nothing. Do I need to change something? Oh, thank you. Oh, my word. No, I pressed the wrong button. What do I do? Here we go. I got it. Praise God for Ed. Okay. Ed, my help and sound guy and friend. Okay. Here we are. So, back to... Well, yeah, I journaled all the time. I was a big prayer journaler. I stopped. When I started writing music, I just stopped. And I was like, what is this? This is so strange. But I really feel as though especially the next songs, really became my prayer journal. It kind of took the place of that. And these next songs really are genuinely, most of them, I think, the next 3 really came out directly from prayer or directly from interacting with God, wrestling with God, time with God. All of them are much more of my really personal journey with God. This next song in particular is actually really important to me. And I probably will mess it up as a disclaimer, but it's called Begging. And this one in particular is really important for me. I love sharing it in Berlin because I wrote it after a very, very long and hard season with God. And it came directly out of a time of praying and saying to God, hey, I want to want you. I really want to love you. I really want to desire you, and I don't know that I do. And I had gone through a very prolonged season of a lot of mistakes. I've made some very huge mistakes in Berlin, actually. A lot of distance with God, a lot of silence, a lot of shame. And I think shame in Berlin is a dominating emotion. I think everybody wrestles with shame in a way in Berlin I had never seen or felt for myself, but it was a time of shame for sure. And kind of was in this slow place of coming out of that, just prolonged dark time with God, this season of really struggling, feeling a lot of shame. Was kind of coming out of that, and then I sat down and wrote this song called Begging. And the first line of it, sometimes I feel like it's hard to fully understand words when you're listening, but the first line of it says, "You are kind and I am quiet." And it was because I was sitting in all this shame, all of this fear, and then just really felt in an instant kind of this presence of God that kind of scared me, because I was like, dang, I'm coming to you now in this gigantic pile of shame after I've made a lot of mistakes, and I don't know how to sit with you, and just felt his very incredible quiet mercy towards me in this way that I had just never felt. Felt like he just sat with me in so much kindness and gentleness and mercy and let me just be a kid. I'm going to cry. I cry. I don't think I've literally ever played one show without crying, so this is also extremely on point. But it really was. It really, for me, this is directly a prayer and a wrestling with, do you really love me if I fail? Really, I know you do, but the child in me feels afraid to come to you, and I don't know if you still like me. That's really this song. So it was kind of the beginning, and I feel like the rest really captures the up and down of that. I feel like this is one of the songs I wrote really in the beginning. I wrote really in the beginning of that kind of journey of coming back to God with confidence. But in Berlin, I usually say this really was my prayer journal. This is really a very authentic wrestling with God and asking really hard questions okay, if I've really failed, what do you feel about me then? So this is Begging. And I'll probably mess it up. When I'm nervous, my hands shake and they just leave. So I'm going to try my best, but we'll see. Okay. You are kind, I am quiet. Hide everything like a child from the parent. You are soft, I'm hard as stone. Question everything I know. Do you still love me like you did? Begging for mercy, look what I've ruined. I want to love you all over again. I cry in your arms like a kid. All I want is more of you. All I want is more of you. I am small. Run from the thought of it all. You see me, I wanna hide. Couldn't lose the thought of you, even if I tried. Do you still love me like you did? Begging for mercy, look what I've ruined. I want to love you all over again. I cry in your arms like a kid. I cry in your arms like a kid. I cry in your arms like a kid. All I want is more of you. 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 Okay, we're speeding through. I feel like I have to talk more. Just kidding. I don't know if that's the solution. Okay. Yes, so that was a song I wrote then in this time, obviously, of struggling. And this song, the next one, is called Flows Like Honey. And it was kind of the resolution to that time, I would say. Like, I feel like I wrote begging in that time of like, okay, I don't actually know where I stand with God, and this is kind of difficult. And then there was a time really short after that where after a very long season of like struggling with God and not really hearing his voice, I did in like a very profound way for the first time in a very long time. And so I wrote Flows Like Honey, kind of just about the sweetness of God's voice, which is also how I share this in Berlin. Yeah, it's about the sweetness of the voice of the Lord and the way that it calls us back into life, the way that when he speaks, it changes things. And one thing in Berlin, as I've been there longer and as I thought about sharing this song, I often spend a lot of time before I play shows just praying and trying to listen to what God wants to say. And there's one time I played this song, and I had some friends in my life who were there who were not Christian and was like, hey, what do you, I don't know, God, what do you want me to say? And especially with this song, there's in German, it was actually a German sentence, so I'll say it. I felt like God said, ich bin lebendig. And that in German means I'm living, I'm alive. And I think this song reminds me of that. Just like, yeah, when you speak, it is so beautiful. And to know, especially in a place like Berlin, I do actually have a God that speaks. I do have a God that interacts. I do have a God that is close to me. And he's living, and he's breathing, and he's not dead, and he's not silent, but he's very alive, and very powerful, and very creative and beautiful. So this is Flows Like Honey. And I feel like this is wrong. Okay, no, it's right. Okay, here we go. You speak, and it is like honey. You are the air, my lungs have been starving. I am shaking the dust off. I am breathing. I am waking up. I'm waking up. I am waking. You are everything, sweet. You're everything that is lovely. And I spend a lifetime getting lost in the beauty. Every word from your mouth, it flows like honey. And nothing is sweeter, nothing is sweeter, nothing. Nothing is sweeter, nothing is sweeter, nothing. I fall for your beauty. I fall again. I fall for your beauty. I fall again, I fall again, I fall again. I fall again, I fall again, I fall again. I fall again, I fall again, I fall again. You are everything, sweet, you're everything that is lovely. And I spend a lifetime getting lost in the beauty. And every word from your mouth, it flows like honey. And nothing is sweeter, nothing is sweeter, nothing. 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 Sweet. Okay. I was thinking about that song as I was singing it, and something else that took me kind of through the journey of music, why I actually think music is so profound, is the idea of God being beautiful. I don't think it's something we talk about enough, actually, and I think understanding God is very beautiful is so interesting to me, because I think if we did, we would think His word is beautiful. Like, if He's beautiful, everything He does is beautiful, and that's something so much that's on my mind for my friends who are artists in Berlin, is like wanting them to just see and encounter not the religion, not the rules of God, not what they've thought about God, but just the pure beauty of God. And I think our drawing into beauty is such a profound thing that God does to lead us to Himself, which I'll talk about. I have a song more about that, but I was just thinking about that. And I think that I wrote that song just in a time of like falling back in love with the Lord in a lot of ways after a period of really not feeling that way, but falling specifically in love with the idea of Him being so beautiful and so living. So yeah, that's that song. This next song is actually for my mom, who is not in the building. She's not in the room. And I don't know where she is. But I need her to come in here now. She already knows. Okay, great. Yes. So I wrote this song. This song is from my mother. It's called January. And I think some of you may know this, some of you not, but in January, my mom was actually diagnosed with cancer. And she's doing great. We're trucking through, and we're going to be great. But it's been a year. And that was, happening in the beginning of the year. And I wrote this song called January, kind of as I was walking, just processing it, very new, and was just kind of praying, and I was like, God, it's been a hard year, and it's only January. And then I was like, yep, that's pretty much where I'm at. So I sat down and wrote this song, and it's very much dedicated to my mom, who's just done so much for me even now, and is my hero, and I'm gonna cry again. Who's my hero, and just my best friend, and my person who reminds me so much of the Lord and who he is. And there's one line in the song that talks about, it says, we'll talk of God and how he's always faithful. And that's because if you know my mom, it does not matter. It does not matter what is going on. It does not matter how hard things are. It does not matter what we're going through. You call her, and it's all about how God is faithful, how he's good, why we trust him. And that's led me through a lot of things. So I will cry during the song. It's inevitable. It just is what it is. Yeah, and that's fine. You're welcome to cry as well. But yes, this is for her. It's really, this is also a prayer. I would say this is just as much in my prayer journal, because it's kind of both for my mom and for the Lord, really. It was kind of my interaction with him. But it's dedicated to my mom and her very steadfast walk with the Lord. So I was about to just play the completely wrong chord. We're off to a very good start. Okay, here we go. This is January. It's been a hard year. It's only January. I've been looking for something to say to you. I'm unlocking every cabinet, every corner of my mind, but nothing I find there will do. Do I stand up tall, look sorrow in the face? Do I stand my ground? Do I run away? And there are certain things only darkness reveals, but I don't wanna see them this way. We'll talk of God and how he's always faithful, how he's faithful through the valley, through the hill. And I know it's true, I guess, that I'm just wrestling, 'cause I don't want the valley for you. Not for you. I learned to knit, so I will knit you a hat, and I will send it when your hair starts falling out. And I hope it keeps you warmer, warmer than I feel. I don't like January at all. I'll call you when I can to hear you laugh. I don't like January at all. It's also, I always forget to say this, but I think it's really funny. I was learning to knit at the time I wrote that song. I can't knit to save my life. She'll never see that hat. It is never gonna happen. We always joke about that, because I really was gonna send her a hat, and then I tried to knit, and I was like, that's never, ever gonna happen. But no, something I love that song. Hello, the mic's here. Something I love that I think about a lot, especially being a musician and a Christian, is like, getting to take sorrowful things and turn them into beautiful music is what God does. Like, he takes sorrowful things and then makes them really beautiful. And I think as, sorry, please hold as I press this button. I think as people who make art and make music like myself, it's like that's, I think part of the getting to know the Lord through that and getting to experience who he is like creating beauty and creating almost like memorial stones of what he's doing through our pain. And it just reminds me of like, yeah, God is also the one that just takes really awful things and uses them for good and makes them so beautiful. So speaking of that exact thing, the next song I'm going to sing is called Bring the Rain. And I wrote it real recently about a woman also incredibly dear to my heart from the place where I work. There's kind of a story behind it, so I will share it. So I work at this place. We serve women in prostitution, homelessness, the whole thing. And it's so beautiful because we started doing a church service for them, which has just been a phenomenal time and so moving. And in that, because we do these church services, we get to really know the women and their story. We get to pray with them, talk with them, the whole thing. It's just great. And there's one woman in particular, I've developed a very close relationship with her, actually because of music, which is such a beautiful thing. I started playing guitar, and she just loved it. So we really started to bond, and she's really been open with me about her whole life, and I just love her deeply. And I've gotten to watch her kind of come steps and steps closer to the Lord, but it's always a pretty hard wrestle for her. She has a really hard story, and so one time she came to our church service. She always comes. She loves the music. It's really sweet. And she'll always talk with us about God, and at the end, she was sharing these kind of hard things about her family, and we were like, hey, can we just pray for you? And she was like, absolutely not. Do not pray for me. Do not pray with me. And with her, you can always kind of see this battle between openness and curiosity, and then this really hard-heartedness and this closed-offness. And it's always really difficult when it feels like, man, prayer is the best thing we can give, and then we can't even give that with them. It's hard. Obviously, we pray for them, without them, but you always just want those times of getting to pray with them. And I just remember we stopped the church service, and I just sat down and started writing this song on my phone, kind of as a I don't know, gift for her in a way, or to think about her and her story. So this is Bring the Rain. Drink here and there to numb out the pain. Don't bother to ask, she won't want you to pray. Her family she failed, her daughter won't call. Her failure is heavy, the pain of it all. And it follows around like an unwanted ghost, and it haunts her in places she cannot dare to go. You will ask where it hurts, search for something to say. She will turn to her wine, it helps her get through the day. fills the air. And she will tend to her garden, does not tend to her hair. And she'll come every day, and you can't shake her name. And her presence brings sorrow, like the clouds bring the rain. Like the clouds bring the rain. Like the clouds bring the rain. Drink here and there to numb out the pain. Don't bother to ask, she won't want you to pray. Okay, we're nearing the end. I have 1 to 2 more, depending on how risky I feel, but for sure 1 more. If I want to take big risks, we have 2. Okay, Ed is saying 2. Okay, Aaliyah's also saying 2. 2, okay. Speak now if you're tired of hearing me. Okay, for sure this last one. For sure this next one. This is one of the most recent ones I've written, and it's really special to me. It has quite a story behind it. It's also a very disjointed story, but kind of 2 things that became really important to me coming together. I obviously talk about how this is my ministry, life, and everything. That can't be right. Is that right? Sure, we'll say that. I wrote a note for myself that I'm doubting. Anyway. I talk a lot about how this is a huge part of my ministry. I believe God uses this for people, and I do. And I've gotten to see that. And there's one person in particular who became incredibly important to me, kind of through music. I remember just these conversations about God that would happen with like a guitar in our laps, because we had come from busking or playing music together, and then all of a sudden it was just this crazy conversation. And he became one of my best friends, phenomenal musician. We were doing music together, and then all of a sudden, one day, in the middle of our time together doing music, just had this crazy, crazy conversation about God. Probably one of the sweetest I've ever gotten to have. And ever since then, he just was always really, really curious, and we always could just talk openly. And then he moved away, which was heartbreaking. But we stayed in touch. And not that long ago, we were talking, and I just asked him one day if I could send a voice memo of me praying for him, so I did. And he responded back to me, and he was like, "This is so weird. I just don't understand like you and how you live this out, and this is just the strangest thing to me. I don't understand." And I was like, "Cool, dude." But the next day he sent me this song, unprompted, and he was like, "Hey, I wrote this song about you and me, and it's a duet between someone who believes in God and someone who doesn't." And I was like, "Okay, what the heck?" Listen to it. It made me cry. It was the most beautiful thing probably anyone's ever given me, and it was just this duet of him saying like, "I sit here in my denial." I think one line is like, "Then I see you smile, and it's me that's in denial." Kind of in his like atheism, agnosticism thing. And then he wrote about my faith. And I was like, this could go a lot of ways. But he wrote this song about my faith, and he talked about like, you're sure and you're centered and you're so assured of your faith, and there's armies of angels. And I was like, who are you talking about, dude? Who are you talking about? Surely not this guy. But it just really touched me. And so I wrote this song called Heaven Visits a While, kind of as a response to him saying like how what you see in me feels so foreign. But that was just one of those times where I was like, music had opened such a door in our friendship, and it was just one of those times where I was like, I don't know, I just see God so much in this. So that's half the story. The other half of the story, the idea of heaven visiting a while, came actually from a quote. I was on this whole journey of like God and kind of theology of creating and art and beauty and all these things, and went to this conference actually for Christian artists that talked about God and the idea of beauty, how beauty fits into the Christian world and why it's so important. And they quoted this book that said, there was a quote in it, I think it's called Divine Beauty, but there's a quote in it that says, when we see beauty as Christians, It's as if we've been in exile and home visits us for a while. Basically saying like we live in this world that we don't belong in. And when we see beauty, it's heaven and it's God himself calling back and saying like, come home to me. And it really stuck with me. And so for a long time, I was like wrestling with this idea of just God and beauty and how even us being people who sing and make art, we bring people that taste of God. And he uses beauty so much to remind us there's more than this ugly, broken, messed up world we're in. And he himself is that beauty. So this is Heaven Visits a While. Yeah. Okay. Is this even correct? Okay. Oh, Ed. Why am I bad at this? Truly? Okay, thanks, Ed. Round of applause for Ed. Okay, I can do this. Thank you. I don't know, man. I find the way I'll let you know. But I've been scared more days than I can count. You say I'm sure, and that I am centered, but I don't see so clearly this time around. You talk of angels, how they stand by my side. Do you see something in me that I don't see? I'll talk of heaven coming out of exile. Heaven visits a while, and it stays right here. Please see something in me that I don't see. Please see something in me that I don't see. Please see something in me that I don't see. Heaven visits a while, and it stays right here. Heaven visits a while, and it stays right here. Thank you. Okay. Okie dokie. That was actually the last song I planned, but I think I'm gonna throw in a little bonus really quickly, which I'll talk about in a second. But first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope it was encouraging in some way. Truly, I feel like kind of I'm glad. And if it is encouraging, like that last song I just played, often like I wanted it to feel very beautiful. I hope it did, only because I want it just to be a taste of the beauty of God, because it's something I've gotten to really fall in love with in the last 2 years and appreciate in such a different way. And yeah, so I hope it was encouraging. And I hope it was just a testament to what God is doing and has done. I hope. We'll have food out there, so after this, feel free to go eat some food and then have a good drive home. Thank you so much. And talk to me. Please come talk to me. And if you have questions about this too, this is just obviously like a little window into what this can look like, what it does look like. But if you have questions, if you want to talk about it, I love that. The next song I'm going to write, oh my gosh, what? The next song I'm going to hopefully sing is about, I wrote it today. Nobody else has heard it. And I do this a lot, actually. I find shows just make songs happen for me. And the reason I'm going to share it is because I feel like songs just, I don't know, find themselves in front of people, but I also wanted to show some of just the process. I feel like this is an unfinished song, but I also wanted to share it because it was so much of my thoughts as I've come home. It's called Ours. It actually came from a conversation with Aaliyah and David, who are also here, which is really funny. And it was just on my mind. And then I sat down and wanted to write the song for the Lord. And so this is a song purely dedicated to the Lord. This is something I wanted to do because I wanted to just give myself the space to kind of enter my time with God here in front of you. So you're invited into that time. And yeah, this song is really hopefully just kind of a time between me and him. So you're welcome to be here for it. And I hope it's pretty. Hope it's good. It might be kind of a mess. You're the first people to ever hear it, which is amazing. So, yay. Okay. Oh my gosh, what? We built this home, and it is ours. How sweet the sound, how sweet it is now. We walked this road, and we walked it together. And every step matters just as much as the last. We've wrestled each other, now I know how your skin feels. And now it's ours, and I wouldn't take it back, no, no. We built it up, and I see you everywhere I go. And it's all ours. Where do I stop? And where do you begin? We bumped heads in a holy collision. We're closer than ever, closer than we've ever been. I may fight with you, but you win me over and over again. And it's all ours, and I wouldn't take it back, no, no. We built it up, and I see you everywhere I go. I'm all yours, you're all mine. I'm all yours, you are all mine. And it's all ours. It's all ours. Yay! Thanks! Let me play my super unfinished song. Okay, feel free to go eat some food and talk. Thanks for being here. It was a gift.